How's it going, everyone? It's FinnCDs, and today I'm back with another video. I know it's been quite a while since I posted. I've been a little busy, plus, the heat waves have really been taken out of me recently, so what can you do about it? But I'm back now, and I just came back from London from Wembley Night 3 of My Chemical Romance. And basically, I wanted to share my experience going to Wembley at My Chemical Romance. Basically, I just wanted to share my experience going to Wembley and watching My Chemical Romance. I also grabbed a silver ticket, which lets you access this, disco area and some free food inside Wembley, so I wanted to kind of show that off as well. And also, I want to show the merch that I got from this event. So to start, as somebody who lives at the end of the UK, I had to get up really early to drive to London. I left my home at about 4:45 in the morning, and we got there at 11 in the morning. Once we arrived at the Fox and Goose Hotel in Ealing, we technically shouldn't have been allowed to check in until 3 p.m. Which, arriving there at 11, not ideal, because that is like 5 hours waiting. But thankfully they were kind enough to let us know when our rooms were ready straight away, and we got to, check in as soon as possible. Absolutely amazing hotel, by the way. It was My Chemical Romance themed just for the shows. It had this cutout of Gerard, which I'll put on screen. It had these drinks that were like cocktails based on some My Chemical Romance songs, which I'll also put up. Just an all-around great experience of a place. Also, there was a mini Gerard behind the bar. Anyway, when we got in our room, I got my outfit ready for the night. And of course, had to do my hair to the best of my ability. I was going to go for more of an emo fringe, but then, I eventually caved in and put in some product just to, keep out my eyes a little bit and have to, flick it every few seconds. So anyway, when the time came, we arrived at the stadium, and it was absolutely packed with My Chemical Romance fans. There's black shirts everywhere, costumes from all the lore, like Mother War and Clark, just everything. Everyone was dressed up. It was really cool. Before we went into the stadium, I had a quick little stop at the merch booth and got the amazing rock music Danger Days vinyl. It was a tour exclusive, so I just had to get it. And here it is in my hands right now. Very cool. I do like how it's got all the tracks on it of the bonus edition. It's very, very sick. So anyway, we were Purple Zone, which was kind of underneath the stadium. We had to go down through the bottom, and there was a very large line as well, as you can see from this little 3-second video. I didn't record much in the line. So anyway, once we were done with the line, we had to go through security, which was, basic. You go through the scanner, you put your stuff in the little container, blah blah, and you're through into the stadium. Here's a couple little clips of just stuff around the stadium that we saw when we were about. Once we headed up these elevators, we were greeted with a guy that handed us our yay and nay signs, which was really sick. I love the yay and nay sign. And then we were told to go in this big, just disco room. It was so cool. We got given these little vouchers that were good for one meal, which was sick. There was loads of different food stands, and it was technically free, even though the ticket, was expensive. All the drinks were complimentary, which was a nice touch, and they just had this sick disco floor with this big disco ball and this DJ who was playing just all of the, the emo essentials. Here's a couple pictures of me and my friend holding up our yay and nay signs while eating our food. My hair was a little chopped from the wind, so you're gonna have to ignore that. Anyway, once we were done with our food, we exited the big, cool waiting room place, disco hall, and entered the main stadium, where all the blocks are. We were block number 144, and we were in row 30, seats 17 and 18, I think. And it was an amazing view. I'll show a couple videos of our view. It doesn't get much better than that apart from standing. And even sometimes standing, you can't see much. So I think, we managed to pull through with some really good tickets. Unfortunately, we did miss the first 15 minutes of Anthony Green because we were eating our food and we just listened to a couple of songs in the room. Did catch the last 15 minutes. He was pretty solid. Unfortunately, I didn't get any videos. I kind of forgot, unfortunately. But yeah, pretty decent, solid act. I'm pretty sure he's in one of the members' like other bands, which is pretty cool. And then Sunny Day Real Estate comes on. I was there for the whole Sunny Day Real Estate set. They did a really good job, you know. They're such a legacy band. They've been on for so many years. And I'm surprised they can just come on stage and, you know, absolutely rip. Obviously, the highlight was Circles, just an amazing song. And then it was time for the main event, My Chemical Romance. I didn't know if I was going to survive My Chemical Romance, just for the fact that I was running on 3 hours of sleep, and I didn't feel too, you know, alive during Sunny Day Real Estate. I felt quite tired, so I was, you know, I was really hoping that I'd sharp up a little bit. Which did happen, it did happen. I made it through the whole set and felt absolutely electric after. You know, the Black Parade, you know, absolutely amazing. You know, they play The End and then Dead, my absolute favourite song by My Chemical Romance. I recorded the whole song, but I got this really cool clip which I really like of Gerard laughing during Dead. Then the next song I got recordings of, obviously, was Welcome to the Black Parade, which is, you know, obviously a classic. Then I got the entirety of that night's Mama on recording, which is really sick. Unfortunately, I didn't get the execution on video. I really wanted to, but I was just looking for a moment, I guess, so I didn't get it. Yeah, Mama was sick because we had both of the singers on that night. I don't remember what they were called. I think one's called Mary Ann. I don't remember what the other one was called, but they were both there. They both did part. Then we had Famous Last Words, which was an absolute banger. I love Famous Last Words. Plus, there was so much pyrotechnics going on. I'll show some clips of it. It was mental. Of everything just flying around, all these fireworks and just like streamers and stuff. It was absolutely amazing. Plus the extended bit with them replaying in the end, at the end. And getting on video Gerard being stabbed, and then Frank absolutely shredding on his guitar during the end before they get rushed off stage. And then the big moment everybody loves, Blood. Now, Blood at night 3 of Wembley was mental because we had 2 clowns on stage. We had both of the clowns. We had the secretary and the clerk dressed up as the clowns. Then both the clowns stab each other, which, you know, why not? And then Blood comes on, they do the dances, and then they take off the jackets, and then they explode. Which, you know, amazing way to end the Black Parade set, obviously. Now we are on to the B set stage. This was the best B set stage I could have ever asked for. My favourite My Chemical Romance album is Danger Days, which I'm not ashamed to say. Love Danger Days, love just the vibe of it, the story, everything about it, amazing. So they obviously come on the B set stage. Unfortunately, I didn't get any videos of the B set stage apart from this 1 12-second clip of Helena second to the end. I should have. I don't know why I didn't. Probably because I was just like so in the moment. It was But if you want to stick around, I'll explain to you how it felt, and it was, you know, it was epic. So firstly, they come on and they waste 0 time. They jump straight into Boy Division. Boy Division is one of my like top 10 My Chemical Romance songs of all time. It's amazing. I just cannot believe, you know, they played it on the night I was there. So it was just such a good experience. Again, screaming every single word. And, you know, after that, I was already dead from the MCR, you know, the Black Parade set. So this just felt, even better, and my voice hurt even more. Pretty much had a collapsed lung by the end of it. So I thought, you know what, maybe they can tone it down a little bit. They didn't. Then they do a little monologue about how we've never played this song live before. Which they have. They have played this song live before back in 2011. But it's been 15 years since they played it. And I was like, what could it be? What could they have possibly put on their set list? They play Party Poison. They play Party Poison. I love Party Poison. I cannot believe they played Party Poison. I'm again, massive Danger Days guy, big conventional weapons enjoyer, and they play Party Poison. Like, on all days, on the day I'm there. So happy about it. Absolutely loved it. And then they play a guaranteed song, I'm Not Okay, I Promise. Amazing song. Again, singing every word, having an amazing time. They go into their next song after I'm Not Okay, and they say, oh, we haven't played this one on the tour yet. And I was like, oh, okay. What could it possibly be? It was Desert Song. That's like scraping the bottom of the barrel here, guys. Desert Song. That's a B-side of Three Cheers, and it only came on either a deluxe disc of Three Cheers or Life on the Murder Scene, which I do own. I do like my Life on the Murder Scene CD. Amazing. So yeah, elite pull of Desert Song. Absolutely enjoyed that. Amazing. And then our next guaranteed song, Na Na Na. Na Na Na, amazing. Again, absolutely love Na Na Na. I will always love just that album, Danger Days. Guaranteed, but still loved it. And then, they play the only Bullet song of the night. I personally was hoping for Headfirst for Halos, because that's my favourite Bullet song. But they play Vampires Will Never Hurt You. Now, Vampires Will Never Hurt You is my second favourite Bullet song, so I was extremely happy about it. I thought, you know what, this is great. And it was supposed to be like a tribute to some guy who plays like Warhammer or something. I'm not really that well versed, so if somebody could let me know, that'd be great. And then I was like, oh, they played Vampires Will Never Hurt You. That means they're probably not going to play Vampire Money. And then Gerard does this little thing where he talks about Baldur's Gate 3 because somebody held up a sign, which is kind of cool. And then they play Vampire Money. Straight after they play Vampire Money. Vampire Money is literally probably my second favourite song in general, maybe. Just behind Dead being like my favourite song. Vampire Money's gas. I love Vampire Money. I was so happy with it. They could have ended the set there and I wouldn't even care. Honestly, wouldn't care. And then we get down to our last 3 songs, which again, I'm just a huge fan of Danger Days, but they probably won't play anymore. They've played a lot of Danger Days. Sing. They go into Sing. Now, I'm not personally the biggest fan of Sing, but that last minute of Sing, where they do that big build-up thing, I love that so much. So they play Sing, last minute, absolutely belting it. I'm sorry, I'm getting loads of notifications. Just absolutely loving it. Amazing song. Amazing last minute. And then they play what they said was going to be the last song of the night, which I knew what it was going to be. It was Helena. Everyone loves Helena. Amazing Night. That's where my one clip was from. So I thought, you know what, might as well just get a little clip. And then they say, if you want one more song, you're going to have to get loud for it, or along those lines. And we were pretty loud. And then they say, you know what, sure, one more song. And then they play Kids From Yesterday. More Danger Days. Honestly, I couldn't have been any happier with the set list. Kids From Yesterday was pretty emotional as well, because this it felt quite personal, because it was this was supposed to be my 18th birthday present, was going to see MCR. That was back in October last year, and now 3 days after the show, I'm going to work. I've got a job lined up now. I'm starting literally tomorrow. By the time you see this video, it might even be tomorrow. I might have work. So yeah, it was just felt crazy and great. Anyway, we all leave the venue in an orderly fashion. Since we were silver wristband wearers, we got to leave through the disco, which is pretty sick. And there was a merch stand inside of the disco room, and I bought this t-shirt at the end of the night. I couldn't go without getting it. Very cool t-shirt, black braid, back. So, yeah, I just felt like I had to get it. So I think I ended up paying £75 altogether in March, which isn't amazing. I shouldn't be doing that. Don't do that. But I felt like I had to. And then we left the venue, we got back to the hotel, and then I've never slept better. I literally lay down on the bed, gone. I was gone. Gone. Because again, I'm on so little sleep, and the adrenaline just like was just pouring out of me. Because it was, it was leaving me. Anyway, it was a 11 out of 10 show. It doesn't get any better than that. Easily the best concert I've ever been to in my career. And I just really hope they come back Sunday because I want to see them again. I want them to come back. Already. And it's been 2 days. So yeah, anyway, that was my experience personally at Wembley Stadium in London for My Chemical Romance. Hope you enjoyed this little ramble video. If you stayed to the end, probably not. But yeah, me and my friend had an amazing time. I hope to, talk to you about my next concert, which isn't lined up yet. I'll pick a good one. And I guess I'll see you later.